Shabbat Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. Hope you're doing well. Well, one thing we all know, just from all the exposure with, the friction that goes on between the Shemites and the Hamites, we know the Hamites, one thing about them, they love the hell out of white people. They do. They practically worship them. And when you're having any kind of conversation and discrimination comes up, they always, well, what about the white man? And we have to constantly tell them we don't be thinking about them people like that. And whenever we do certain things, we don't care about what they think and what they feel, but the Africans do care. So, one thing that we have been talking about all over the internet is the fact that all of these immigrants are always fleeing. They're always running to some other country looking for something, especially here. Here they see the land of opportunity, and it really has been that for them. It really has been a lot of opportunity that they know they can't get back at home, despite the fact that they always try to tell us their homeland is way better than this, and we know they're lying. We know they're lying. So, Pope Leo is touring Africa right now. And I was shocked, but he brought up how the youth is fleeing to other countries when they should be staying and building Africa. He said, you should be building your country up, not fleeing to other countries. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is Pope Leo listening to us? Because I've never heard a pope talk like that before. So is he listening to what's going on the internet? I think he is. I think he is. I have never, ever heard any pope speak like that. So, now it came out of a white mouth Africans, that you should stop fleeing and build up your nation. And, you're going to hear from, an African or two here in the video. And when I said, yeah, I agree. Yeah, y'all, you need to stop running and build up your land. I think it's real lazy for people to claim you've been there thousands of years and y'all got slums. It should be no slums in Africa. It should be built up where people are living in actual homes or apartments, not slums. And the fact that we are in this day and age and y'all still got slums all over the place, that's a disgrace. And that just proves y'all are lazy. You come over here calling us lazy. No, y'all are definitely the lazy ones here. Okay, we don't let our people live in slums with sewage water all over the place. We ain't living like that. But y'all are, and you accept that instead of building the place up. So, y'all really have no right to come over here and call someone lazy. And then let's go back to when the AU, the African Union, was trying to come up with a plan to steal our reparations. And one of their conditions when they get the reparations money was for us to come over there. And, first of all, what makes you think we all want to come over there? And the other one was, they would give us land and we would have to build Africa. Wait a minute. Why do you need outside people to come and build Africa when you got over 1 billion people in Africa? That's again, that's lazy. You got all those men and women. And I remember some of y'all were bragging about, y'all are a young continent. Yes, because the life expectancy over there sucks. So yeah, you would have a lot of young people because after a certain age, y'all don't make it. So no, I mean, no, we built this nation. Our forefathers built this nation. We ain't doing no more nation building for nobody on this planet. So if you need nation building, you're going to have to pull your people together to get that done. That's only the right thing to do. You live over there. Who else should do it? So this is real interesting that the Pope brought this topic up to Africa while he's touring. Very interesting. So let me go ahead and share my screen so we can get started. Okay. Please give me a one if you can see my screen. Yeah, I mean, their houses are different, but you know what? After all these centuries, there's no excuse that nobody knows how to do it. Don't they claim to have all these engineers and people with all these big degrees and everything? See, then there's no excuse for them not to know how to build houses. You claim y'all are smart, you got all these degrees, you do this, you do that, but you ain't building your nation. You're not using those degrees to make Africa better. That's unacceptable. Thank you for the ones.
We see also the serious problems affecting the education and healthcare systems, as well as large-scale migration to foreign countries, particularly of young people. Added to these internal problems, which are often fueled by hatred and violence, is the damage caused from outside by those who, in the name of profit, continue to lay their hands on the African continent to exploit and plunder it. This is the moment to change, to transform the story of this country. The time has come, today and not tomorrow, now and not in the future, to restore the mosaic of unity by bringing together the diversity and riches of the country and the continent. Woe to those who manipulate religion in the very name of God for their own military, economic, or political gain, dragging that which is sacred into darkness and filth. The masters of war.
The Pope is asking Africans in diaspora to go back to Africa to rebuild their countries. I think it's great advice, but I also think His Holiness should do more than that to encourage the African to go back to Africa. I would like to let the Pope understand that Africans in the diaspora left their families to go to a lonely and cold environment as a last resort. The Europeans who made a risky journey to America were fleeing from tyranny, and so is the African. I'm hoping His Holiness can use his influence to persuade the former colonial powers to stop interfering in African affairs. He should also use his influence to persuade the financial institutions in Europe and elsewhere to return their hundreds of billions in illegal funds back to rightful countries. Africans in the diaspora are just following the money. Until the African can manage its own resources without any interference from outside sources, and there's a level playing field on how he manages those resources, There is nothing to build or salvage. The European powers can't have it both ways.
Isn't this hypocritical? Don't these Africans say, every time we say things that we do, they always say, "Oh no, it's the white man. It's the white man." So we haven't done anything according to them. Everything is the white man, the white man. Well, then, if that's the case, why are Africans not dealing with the white man and making the white man stop interfering with their progress over in Africa? Well, what's your problem then? What's your problem? That's not the Pope's responsibility to talk to these colonizers and tell them to stop interfering. That's your job to do that. Africans should be standing up to all of these foreign nations that are raping the land and stealing the resources. Y'all should have been the ones standing up for that. Why is it that when we talk about everything, oh, y'all, you blame everything on the white man? Now, listen to this dude. Isn't that what he's doing? Isn't that what he's doing? Oh, they're interfering and, they need to stop it. Wait, wait, wait. I thought y'all said, y'all don't whine and make up excuses. Well, that's what this dude is doing. He's blaming Africa's problems on everybody except for Africans. I'm sure listening to what he's saying, but it's awfully funny. They always come back at us with that. Oh, y'all always blame the white man. Well, what is he doing? What is this dude doing? Y'all got a lot of nerve. Y'all got a lot of nerve. But at the end of the day, it's still over 1 billion people on that continent. It's not 1 billion white people there. It's not 1 billion Asians there. So what's your excuse for not taking a stand against these people that are doing all kinds of interfering and things in that land they should not be doing? What stand are you taking? At least we fought these folks. We got a history of fighting back. Y'all got a history of just going along to get along. That's your history with these folks. So let's go on.
You can't steal or get Africans' resources for pennies on the dollar and not expect Africans to react. Africans do not want to live in Europe. They are not built for the cold, but they are adaptable creatures. Besides, they have been exploited. When a doctor leaves his country to go become an Uber driver because his qualifications are not recognized, that is telling. Nobody wants to live like that. So once again, Your Holiness, please use your influence to facilitate matters so the African can look forward to going back home where he really belongs. Thank you.
Hey, that's all I got to call them, okay? This is all I got to call them, okay? This is the way to ring the cowbell and tell them, hey, Pope Leo said to take y'all dumbass home. Pope Leo told the Africans, okay, that they are suffering from brain drain because they are EBA, okay, everywhere but Africa, and that is directly affecting the progression of their countries. Okay, they in the UK, they in Asia, they in all over the Americas. Like, go home, Roger. So every time I call them, this is the music I play. I don't know how. That's all I got. That's all I got to reach out to them. Hey, Pope Leo said, take y'all dumbass home, like we told you. Okay.
Despite the richness of the land in Cameroon, many experience both material and spiritual poverty.
Pope Leo XIV has urged young Africans to shun emigration and channel their skills into developing Africa. The Pope made the charge while speaking to students and faculty members at the Catholic University of Central Africa in Yaoundé, Cameroon, during his visit. He called on Africa's brightest minds to utilize their skills and education into developing their own nations, not seeking a better life abroad. The Pope also took a hard stance against corruption, saying Africa must be freed from its grip, and that the fight starts with the younger generation.
All right. Well, I never thought I'd say this, but this one I do agree with Pope Leo. Y'all need to stop running all over the globe, everywhere else, and stay home and build up Africa. You claim to have everything. Everything the world needs is in Africa. That's true. But see, if you were smart, you would have taken advantage of that and made a lot of money off of those resources. Y'all didn't. You allowed these people to carve up Africa and then go in there and take whatever the hell they wanted to take. So now you got a situation where when you look at certain parts of Africa, those places probably look the same for centuries, y'all. Dirt roads, no street lights, no street signs, just these homes that look makeshift, like they just grabbed anything they could find and put it all together to make a home. Nothing should look like that over in Africa in all this time. It's a joke that y'all try to act like you're better than us. You're not. And on top of that, you should be, if y'all so smart and so educated, Africa should be the most advanced country on the face of the earth. And it's not. It's not. Because y'all always try, we make more money than you. You don't. We got more degrees than you. You don't. You don't. But it's amazing how y'all always boasting on yourselves and your country looks horrible. So I guess you didn't want to use your brains to fix the country. You know, I was looking at this one white guy that went to Makoko, their floating slum in Nigeria. And as soon as he got in there, he said it smelled like raw sewage. That's because they pee, poop, and swim all in the same water. They said that water is so nasty, the fish won't even come up in there. The fish won't come nowhere near that place. They got to go further out in the ocean if they want to fish because the fish won't even go near it. That says a lot. It says how filthy that place really truly is. And how is it that Africa in this century still don't have running water and toilets? You see those women with those big jugs on top of their heads walking around, they getting water. They got to get up every day and go get water and carry that mess back to whatever shack they're living in. No running water. How can you have any place in Africa with no running water? There's still places with no electricity, no internet, no outdoor lights. I remember that Somalian guy that got deported and was crying for help. He was outside with his phone, and when you look behind him, there were no street light, no lights out there at all. So as soon as it gets dark in Mogadishu, it's pitch black. There's no lights. I know one thing, y'all better get the hell out of our faces, running your mouth about how much smarter and better you are, and that place looked just like that. It looks horrible. So, y'all, I just wanted to show you what the Pope said to them. That says a lot right there. The Pope is way over in the Vatican, and even he knows y'all fleeing all over the place. You know, so it's something that's very well known about Africans. Y'all never stay home. You always on the run somewhere. So y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your support, and be on the lookout for my lives. I have a lot of great topics coming up. Shalom, family.